What's up, Big 12 Nation? It is Tuesday night in America. That can mean only one thing. It is time for another edition of your favorite YouTube-centric Big 12 college football show. That's right. It's the one, it is the only, it is the biggest 12 with me, your host, Clint Foster. Wherever you are, thank you so much for making us a part of your Tuesday night. And we got a good show for you. Brownie is joining me. We're going to talk about can't miss games every single week in the Big 12. All right, we got your viewing guide all lined up right here. You know, we all got our teams that we dote upon. You know, obviously I'm not going to miss a TCU game, but you might want to set your DVR for these other games because there's a lot of great football action going to happen in 2025 in the Big 12. But before we get to that, you know, I need something from you. I need you to subscribe to the show, okay? Hey, there's 3 of you watching right now. I'm assuming you're subscribers. But you know what? All of y'all, if you're listening on Apple Music later, Spotify podcast, you know, we're available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you get on YouTube, you subscribe to the show at Big 12 VOCFB. There it is, running across the bottom of the screen for those of you using your eyeballs to imbibe the show. Right there. Like, subscribe, do all the things, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We're fixing to start football season, okay? You cannot be missing a weekly show. So do the thing, subscribe. And while you're at it, follow me. I put the wrong banner up there, didn't I? Follow me at Clint_Foster55 on Twitter and my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Creations. I've got a new script written. I just haven't put it on film yet. But my fans of A Lone Star Persuasion are going to love this one. It's going to be good as soon as I have time to put it on tape. And you're going to find it right there. You're also going to find my award-winning documentary when it drops at the end of September right there on at Clint Foster Creations. And also, make sure you're following the Voice of College Football on social media at VOCFB. Very easy to find. And our wonderful website, which I keep showing you every week, waiting for you to make it your homepage. Hallelujah. There it is right there. Look at it. Beautiful website. Go there. VOCFB. We got a new logo too. Look at that. Oh my God. This is so good. Okay. Get over there. Check it out. So that's enough of that. You know all the things. Let me welcome him in. You know him. You love him. You want to pet his beard. He's a little sunburned today, but we love him just the same. It's Brownie, ladies and gentlemen. Brownie. How you doing, friendo?
A little red. Been having some fun with the nephew outside. Went to an amusement park all day and totally forgot sunscreen. So
hey, we've all been there. We've all been
next week I will officially look like a lobster.
Love that for you. No, you're just gonna look like
a cyclone. Yeah, I'm gonna look like cyclone red.
Yes. We just gotta dye the hair as well, and then you'll be right there.
Mm. All right. Might yell at me for that.
No, yeah. Like Ariel the Mermaid Red. That's what we're going for.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so I have here on my laptop screen, and I'm going to share it with you fine, wonderful people here in a moment, but I have the composite schedule for the Big 12. Every single Big 12 game of this football season. We're going to go week by week, and I'm going to tell you, and Brownie's going to tell you, our opinions of the games you cannot miss every single week. There's a lot of good football in the Big 12 this year, especially, Brownie. Am I right or am I right?
Oh, 1,000%. It's going to be an absolute blast this season.
So much parity in this conference. So many good games. It's wide stinking open. There's so many teams that can win this conference and that are going to compete for this conference, and so many intriguing games. So let's just get this thing rolling. I don't even need to pull up the schedule to tell you
Week
the
0
game that you have to watch, and I am hyped to watch it. Brownie, hit us with it.
Farm-O-Geddon.
Farm-O-Geddon. Yes, exactly. They had
Farm-O-Geddon.
one in the 1840s over there. This is the 2025 edition. Okay, corn and wheat instead of potatoes. But yes, Iowa State and Kansas
corn.
State. It's corn. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
I can't imagine a more beautiful thing either.
Yes, absolutely. There it is right there. August 23rd, 11 a.m. in God's time zone. Okay, so make sure you are watching that one. There's no reason not to watch it on Saturday morning. It's the only game that I'm aware of that's happening.
Regular season Farmageddon as well, because Big 12 apparently hates fun.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
they got rid of the Butt Bowl. They got rid of Farmageddon.
They got rid of the saddle.
The
Yeah.
saddle,
We gotta
everything.
wait around every so often for these games to come around. So there's that one. Week 1. Moving on to week 1. There's a lot of really great options in week 1 as well.
Yes.
Of course, you have Baylor and Auburn, which is going to be a good game. Honestly, I personally think Baylor is going to thrash Auburn, and that's going to be. I don't often root for Baylor, but that's going to be a beautiful thing to see. Anything for the SEC to suffer.
100%.
You've got also Utah at UCLA. I also think that Utah is going to absolutely obliterate UCLA. But hey, here's the thing. Saturday's going to come. Saturday's going to go. Buddy, you better make sure that you are tuned in for this TCU UNC game. Okay. Obviously, there's the intrigue of Bill Belichick's first game and his girlfriend. Is she going to be roaming the sidelines? Who the heck knows? We'll see. But this is a big time prove it game for TCU, right? I feel like TCU is going to win this game. How comfortably would they win this game is going to be a matter of whether or not TCU basically is putting the rest of the Big 12 in the nation on notice that the Frogs are back. Okay. I'm expecting a good game one way or another. And, we won't be competing with Monday Night Football yet. So,
Yet, asterisk.
yeah, watch TCU North Carolina. I think that's going to be a good one. Am I wrong, or should you be watching Utah UCLA?
It's week 1, man. Watch all the football.
I mean, yeah.
The key ones that I would say is just because the Big 12 is the beneficiary of being able to be spread across 4 whole days. I think that each day we should kind of pick a specific one. Like Thursday, definitely watch the Nebraska Cincinnati.
Yes,
that one's going to be hot.
Yeah,
Nebraska came in and canceled it too. Like they canceled their home and home with Cincinnati, so this is gonna spicy.
I would love to see Cincinnati show up for that game. I bet Cincinnati does win that game.
I certainly hope so. I also think that the Baylor Auburn game is probably going to be your best bet on Friday.
Yep, if you don't have some high school football going on.
Yeah, I just don't see Georgia Tech Colorado being overly exciting, and then you're rolling into Saturday, and again, Big 12 is set up really great. I think that you could watch. I mean, obviously, West Virginia and Iowa State are playing Robert Morris, South Dakota, so that might not be overly aspiring. But if you're kind of wanting to see the quote unquote pregame, I would definitely slot the West Virginia game over Iowa State that week because that's our first look at Rich Rod and what West Virginia might look like.
That is true.
Then the next time bracket, which is at 6 to 7 o'clock, definitely focus on Texas Tech. Because again, we want to see what this Texas Tech team is, right? I mean, are we going to see a lot of it from APBU? Doubt it.
Probably not.
But we'll see something, And then the late night games is what really intrigues me. And I'll actually be watching both the Arizona and the Utah game. Because the Arizona versus Hawaii, it's going to be interesting, I think, for those two. But the Utah one, I feel, is more important if you have to pick. Because the Utah UCLA game might set up what Utah will be during the season.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you don't want to show your full hand before conference play. However, their first game is a P4 team. Like, they have to play with what they originally are wanting to come into the conference with. So I think that one's going to be far more important, but I am definitely split screening, and I will probably be coming back from the Iowa State game to listen or hear Texas Tech's game, and then I'll probably pass out by halftime for the last 2 slots.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a dang good Saturday.
I know.
Saturday. Yeah,
I know. And then we don't have football on Sunday. How freaking rude!
I know.
Well, NFL, but I mean, who watches that during Big 12 season?
Come on, be real. Be so for real.
Come on, be real.
A lot of interesting rivalry games in week 2. You of course have El Assico, Iowa State. That's always a good time. Baylor goes to SMU, which could get delicious.
Spicy.
Okay. These are 2 good games that 11 o'clock time slot. Oklahoma State, Oregon. I think that's going to be a bloodbath, and
I was
not in the
gonna say
way that.
it's a slaughter, and it's not even close to which team is gonna win.
Yeah. You've also got the Bayou Bucket. You've got Houston and Rice that day. TCU will be playing Abilene Christian, so I'll be at that game. I'll watch that game. But the game I am interested in keeping my eyeballs on, the game that I'm DVRing, the game that I can't wait to watch, it's the border war, baby. Kansas, Missouri, right here. Getting all that Civil War hatred circulating in the building, and man, I hope Kansas can pull it off. I hope. I don't know if they will. I think they can, but I hope they will.
I mean,
How
depends
good
on
is
which
Missouri really?
It depends on how good a Mizzou it is. Like,
Yeah.
is it the Mizzou of Big 12, or is it the Mizzou of we're going into the SEC, winning like the first 2 years, and then being absolute hot bag of garbage?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think again we're in a great position as a conference where we can watch multiple Big 12 teams. Personally speaking, if you want to see a lot of hatred in a singular day, you have to go Iowa State. Like, I know that there's that butting ahead for Baylor SMU, but Texas schools have just so many rivalries with each other
Yeah, we
that
all
I
hate each
feel
other.
yeah, I feel like you guys just water it down because your entire schedule is just hatred. But like the Iowa State game, there is like a lingering effect for 365 days on how that game ends. Like, you can, as a TCU fan, be like, oh yeah, like we crushed Baylor, and then an SMU fan is like, yeah, but you didn't beat SMU. Like, Iowa State could win the national championship with one loss, and if that one loss is Iowa, we would never, ever, ever hear the end of it.
Yeah.
Where, like, maybe some other teams for rivalries, like, they might, like, subtle jab at it. No. Hawkeye fans would make it their entire personality.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Brownie. It's a good point.
So I definitely think 11 o'clock, Iowa State, 2:30.
2:30's got to be border war.
So War showdown for sure for Kansas Mizzou. And then I think I think I might have cut out. I don't know.
Yeah, you did a little bit, but you're back now.
Okay, good. Then I think it is the Houston Rice game at 6. We don't really have a strong 5 or 6. I mean, Arizona State,
Kansas Army
State
could potentially be interesting. I mean, I don't see Kansas State losing that, but it could potentially be interesting.
Well, it's also coming back from. That's not their first game back from Ireland, is it?
No, they will have played North Dakota.
Okay, so they'll have a tune-up game. Yeah, that might be the trap. But then I'm definitely circling that Stanford BYU for the night shift.
Yeah, especially with BYU being the way that they are right now without Retzlaff. This is the first, I believe, first true test for them. Yeah, that'll be the first true test for them. Stanford's not a world beater anymore, but certainly one that it's going to be interesting to see how BYU shows up for it. Also, I don't see Arizona State struggling with Mississippi State in the slightest, but interesting watching Arizona State go into an SEC environment. That could be something that could pull my eyes away from Houston Rice, theoretically. But yeah, if you're looking for the game of the day, the game of the week, it's the border war for me. It's slightly edging out El Assico simply because it hasn't happened in a while. Truly.
That's true. I'm a little biased, though.
Yeah. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch Iowa State. I'm going to watch Cy-Hawk. But I'm excited about the border war. Okay, week 3. Going into week 3, we do have the Cat Bowl here, the Wildcat Bowl, Kansas State, Arizona. I don't see that being much of a game. Listen, there is one game. A lot of these weeks I'm like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. There's only one game I'm interested in this week.
Backyard brawl, baby.
Backyard frickin' brawl, man. Pittsburgh, West Virginia. Last one for a little bit of a while.
And it's in Morgantown. You know that they're going to be playing Sweet Caroline. I mean, eat shit pit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a beautiful thing. There's a little bit of intrigue. Utah going to Wyoming, a little Mountain West throwback, and Texas State gave Arizona State all they could handle in San Marcos last year. But yeah, the backyard brawl. You're not going to find anything else on
Backyard
the
brawl.
schedule that's matching that.
1,000%.
Nothing else. I don't know why I was thinking. Just I guess we have that technically week 1.
Week 0 into week 1.
Yeah, I'm just very confused about TCU's schedule here. I guess we kind of have a bye, since we play on Monday. That's weird. Okay.
Take it where you can, man.
Yeah, no kidding. So we got the backyard brawl week 3. Week 4. A lot of intriguing games. You've got Arizona State Baylor. That is a potential major game for conference title positioning. You've got Tech Utah for the same reason.
SMU TCU.
Buddy, yeah, I'm biased. This is the only game I care about that week, okay? Last Iron Skillet game for hopefully not too long. Hopefully Mike Buddy brings it back sooner rather than later. But last one that's on the schedule, and these two teams have not both been this good in a very long time. I mean, honestly,
since the Southwest Conference.
Well, since like the 30s, honestly. If you're going to look for a time when both teams were actually good.
Good. Yeah.
In the 80s, TCU had one season that was great, and then we self-reported paying players and got a bowl ban, and
hey, at least you self-reported, unlike SMU.
And we got absolutely obliterated for it. So it was
Pony excess.
There was no reason to self-report. But yeah, friggin' this has to be this is certainly the first time since like 97 that both teams have been on equal footing.
Can you
first
call
time?
This the
I would
Bankers
argue first
Brawl
time
now.
Huh?
Can you call this the Bankers Brawl now?
Bankers Brawl. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, this is truly the first time since the 1930s when both teams have been good. Both teams.
You could almost say that this might be college football playoff.
Maybe. Hey, I hope not. I hope SMU loses every game, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, this is gonna be a doozy of a game. Last time we played them at home, we won comfortably. It's been in Dallas where we have struggled the last handful of years. But SMU is gonna bring the heat. TCU is gonna be pissed off wanting to win that game. Let's freaking go, man. Let's see if Sonny Dykes can not get kicked out of the game this year. That's my goal.
I think I'd like that though, a little bit.
Yeah. As long as we won. If we won, it'd be fine. But that he got kicked out of the game when we were down by like 60 last year or whatever the hell it was. So that was kind of just like, come on, man. But yeah, that's my game for week 3. Brownie, tell me I'm wrong.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Or 4.
For week 4, again, we do have a Friday night game, which I absolutely love and hate. I love that I get to have Big 12 football on a Friday. I hate it that we have so many Fridays.
Yeah.
It
really sucks for Texans because high school football is such a big deal.
High school is, yeah.
We don't want to be distracted, with college on a Friday night. We got stuff to do.
I don't blame you guys. But yeah, I really, depending on how Gundy has that team wired up, maybe this is the year Tulsa gets them.
Maybe man. If Tulsa beats Oklahoma State, ooh, buddy, you might be talking about. Is it time to move on?
And then I think that we're actually set up in a very good position to then have additional time slots again, because you have UCF, you have a game at UCF, you have a game at East Carolina. So those could be your 11 o'clockers.
Yeah.
Which I would probably pick UCF. I know it's going to be Bill Belichick 2.0. But also, can we just invite North Carolina to the Big 12? I mean, they're already playing a Big 12 non-con.
Yeah, man.
They're halfway there.
I mean, let's swoop in there and get them before the SEC does.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can you? Oh my God! Like the Big 12 basketball is already ridiculous. Can you imagine adding North Carolina into the mix of that?
I was sitting there and chuckling. I was like, imagine if we somehow got North Carolina, Louisville, and Duke.
You want to talk about just shutting down the rest of the conferences. This is just whoever wins the Big 12 is the national champion.
Yeah, just a giant slaughter fest. Yeah. I mean, it's already a slaughter fest, and there's still the rumor mills on them wanting to add Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Like, if you add Gonzaga on top of all this, like, it just I might not be ever interested in football ever again because I am so focused on college basketball.
Now I'll never get there. I'll never get there. But
But yeah, so I think it's great because we have the capability of having two 11s,
Mhm.
right? And then we can split. Maybe TCU gets a 2:30 prime time,
Yeah, probably
2:30.
when it's as hot as possible,
Yeah,
for sure.
like it's either going to be a 2:30 or a 5 o'clock time slot.
You
Well,
know that
six.
Texas
But
Tech Utah is going to be the late one, of course.
yeah, well, it's probably Utah at 10 and Colorado at 9 or something like
Yeah,
that. Like they're
yeah.
both going to be playing at that late time slot.
Mhm.
But I mean, then you're really only competing with TCU, Kansas, and Baylor. And none of the Baylor Arizona State intrigues me, but like the SMU TCU is like I think my favorite one out of the bunch.
Yeah. I think in another universe, Wyoming Colorado is a beautiful rivalry. Cowboys and Buffaloes. I mean, come on, man. All right, so that's week 4. Week 5. This is again. I only wrote down one game, and again, I am biased. I'm not under any illusions that I'm not. I think the TCU Arizona State game. It is on a Friday night, and I am not
It's
super confident.
Friday.
Yeah, I'm not super confident that TCU is going to win that game. I mean, we can pull an upset. We very well could be. Well, no. I mean, there's a world where we're undefeated going into that game. Um, but this is by far the most intriguing game of
Aren't you
week 5
glad that
to
that's
me.
like an away game for you, so that way you can high school football it?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be watching that, but yeah, uh, here's the thing. I think I've been saying this every single week. TCU's gonna be a lot better. TCU has an extremely tough schedule. We play 6 teams that are ranked in the top 25 on our
Yeah.
schedule. But I do think we're gonna be a lot better. This is the game where, I mean, even if we lose this game, theoretically, we could still make the Big 12 championship. But this is a big prove it game, just like North Carolina, right? Who are you going to be this year? Are you going to be a team that competes for Arlington? Or are you going to be another, we're crawling to a bowl type season? Um, there's a lot on the line. I do think it's going to be a very competitive game. And there's other good games on the schedule. Like I'm interested in Utah, West Virginia. I'm interested in Cincinnati, Kansas. BYU, Colorado could be interesting. The Alamo Bowl rematch with like none of the same players. But this to me is the game of the week. Do you disagree?
Yep.
Okay, tell me why.
I would definitely say TCU at Arizona State. It has large implications on who might win the conference.
Mm.
I really feel like if you lose 3 conference games, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that it's going to come down to 3. And the only way that a lot of these top tier teams are going to be able to make it is by basically cannibalizing each other.
Yeah.
So it could almost be where we have the 2 best teams in the Big 12 not even play in the championship game because there are other teams with slightly easier schedules that could be better, but they're just not the best. So I really feel like the best team in the Big 12 has to step up in those games. And I think this, like right at week 5, is where you start to figure out who is and who is not.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're week 5, you should start figuring stuff out to where now you're starting to tweak the playbook on what worked versus what didn't work.
Right.
Right? You have some tape of preseason, but you need to start winning the beginning of the season to coast at the end because then by the end of the season you know what's worked, you know what doesn't work, you've seen all the film. But realistically, like that TCU Arizona State, that could make or break both of your guys' season right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And the loser, if that's their second loss going into week 5, I mean, you're now on damage control. You're not,
Mhm.
you might not be thinking Big 12 championship game. You might be thinking, okay, let's just get the best record that we can to win the world's greatest ever bowl game of all time
Yeah.
that
That's a
has a
fine
toaster
consolation
trophy.
prize. Fine consolation prize. Do not get me
It
wrong.
A glorified toaster.
Yeah. It glorified like with a capital G, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it deserves its glory. All right. So there we go. We're 5 weeks in. Moving on to week 6. I was really torn between 2 games this week. One with a bit more on the line as far as conference title implications than the other, which is why I'm probably settling on Kansas State Baylor for this week. But I think Iowa State Cincinnati is quite intriguing. I think that this could end up being a very competitive game.
It's the chili off.
The chili off, yes. Texas Tech Houston, there's always just a lot of hate in that building when that game pops off. And TCU Colorado, very anxious to get back at Dion after that catastrophic beginning to the 2023 season. But yeah, for me, the game of the week is Kansas State Baylor, and there's not a particularly close second.
Yeah. I think the one that I really want to watch is Kansas State Baylor. Now, obviously, if it's the same time as the chili off, probably not going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But the intrigue and dark horse one, actually, for me, is the Friday night game,
Let me go back.
which is West Virginia at BYU.
Ah, yeah. Mormons versus moonshine.
Yeah.
You know.
I think by this point in the season, we will understand the coaching philosophy that Rich Rod wants to bring to West Virginia's table.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think we're going to see by this point what a Retzlaff-less team will look like. Like, are they still
Yep.
going to be a contender? Was Retzlaff the final piece of the Infinity Stones in Gauntlet?
Yeah.
Or was BYU just in a fluke season?
Yeah.
I think that's realistically what it is.
Let's be real here for a second. We're all dogging on BYU, and I do think BYU fans need to radically reset their expectations without Retzlaff. I really hate that I did my BYU season preview so early.
Yeah,
I wish I could get Palmer and have him back in here, yes, to talk about it. Here's the thing: they're still going to have a very good defense.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That's
their
the
defense is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the thing that nobody's talking about.
It's the offense that's going to be the big question.
They're going to be winning games like 2006 TCU, where it's like 12-3, and that's how they're going to win.
They're bringing Iowa Hawkeye football to the Big 12.
Yes,
where punting wins games.
So to your point, Brownie, that does make this game extremely intriguing, because if Rich Rod has West Virginia's offense humming like it used to in those Rich Rod days, here you go. You've got your unstoppable force meeting its immovable object in Provo at 9:30, right? That could be a very fascinating game.
So I might try to recreate the Cougar tail for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. I still think, because of conference title implications, Kansas State Baylor.
Yeah, K-State Baylor is, if you had to pick one, that one for sure. But I'm keeping my little eye on that Friday game.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. All right. So where are we now? We're moving into week 7. Okay, a lot of intriguing ones here. You've got Kansas at Tech. Could Kansas present a potential stumbling block for Tech at home? Maybe not. I wouldn't hate it if it happened. TCU has got to get over the hurdle of Manhattan. I mean, it might be since 2015 that we've won in Manhattan. I would have to double check on that, actually. But yeah, if TCU is going to be competing for the Big 12, they have to win this game. So that is a very, very important game as far as TCU schedule is concerned. But I think if you have to only watch one, we're talking about one game of the week, I think it's Arizona State, Utah. We've been bagging on Utah. I think they're going to be a lot better, and they do host Arizona State. So this is another opportunity for Utah to prove something, right? Do you belong here? Can you compete for Arlington? Or is Arizona State going to keep their Big 12 train rolling? That's the one that I got my eye
on. I'm gonna go against you on this one.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be the Kansas Texas Tech game.
Okay, I can see that though.
Is Texas Tech the team that we thought that they are? At this stage in the season, we should have the full picture, right? Is Texas Tech benefiting from a soft schedule, or are they going to start stumbling and 8-4 this thing?
Mhm.
And does it start with Kansas?
Yeah.
Because Kansas, like, we can dog Kansas as much as we want because
We
of like
saw them
previous
ruin
history.
several seasons last year.
Yeah, they ruined our season last season. Like,
Mhm.
Kansas is no laughing matter anymore. They are not the 0-12, the 1-11s, the 2-10s.
Mhm.
Like, they are actual competitors now. And with the Big 12 now being stacked top to bottom far more evenly than what it ever used to be, as well as any other conference, I really think that the Tech Kansas game is going to be more playoff implicating than the TCU Kansas State game.
Mhm.
Because if Kansas wins that, that just throws a wrench in everybody's chain.
Yeah.
And you might see a 3 or even a 4-loss team going to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. Which would be a shame.
That would be bonkers.
That would be a shame because it'd give
that
the
would be
committee a reason to
bonkers,
keep
man.
deserving
Oh,
Big 12 teams out of the playoff.
Oh, 1,000%. But that would be the most like, ooh, evil.
Mhm. Well, to Kansas, Kansas kind of gives me shades of what Darryl Royal, famous Texas coach Darryl Royal, once said about TCU. He said TCU's like a cockroach. It's not what he comes in and carries away, but what he falls into and messes up. Right.
Yep.
And Kansas certainly
They
did that last year. And
they
they can certainly do it this year.
successfully fall multiple times.
Yep. Fall into your soup, and we ain't eating that anymore. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, for my personal, I mean, I still think Arizona State Utah is the game of that week. But for me personally, oh my God, that TCU Kansas State game, I have that circled in red ink 3 times. That's a
Purple
huge
ink?
one for TCU. Yeah, purple ink. Yeah.
Better make it purple.
You got to stand out with the red against all the purple, though. Okay. Okay. So now moving into week 8. So we've got the Holy War, Utah BYU. That's always a doozy.
This is a spicy week.
This is a very spicy week.
If I had to pick one week on the entire calendar of
You
Big
know
12,
how I feel. You know how I feel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like if I had to pick a singular week in the entire Big 12 conference schedule, and like somebody goes, "Hey man, like I want to know about the Big 12. Like what week should I watch?" I'd be like week 8. Like I know Iowa State's not in there, bummer, but like week 8 gives you the like full spectrum, right? I mean, you have West Virginia, brand new coach, versus UCF, brand new coach. You have the Holy War, which always produces something.
Yep.
You had TCU Baylor, that also always produces something. And you have Tech and Arizona State, who
That one's
arguably
spicy,
should
too.
be, arguably the two teams that should be playing off of paper in the Big 12 championship game are playing each other week 8. So, how much of their playbook are they going to show? How much of the playbook are they not going to show? Like, in my personal opinion, I'm going to watch the Holy War because last year.
Well, you gotta. Yeah, you gotta.
That was mwah.
Yeah.
Last year's was absolutely insane, and I made that entire phony baloney statement from their AD where multiple BYU and Utah Twitter handles had to say that it was satire. It's like, I don't understand how you got through half of that and not think that it was like satire or something. Like, come on, people.
Because child left behind, reading comprehension is a lost art.
Yeah, apparently the wiggity whack was not the turning point for them at all.
Yeah. Listen, the Revivalry is gonna have some juice this year. I mean, it has juice every year. But it needed. Listen, Baylor needed to win a game because we were getting to a point where TCU was just winning so much, which I'm never going to complain about. But the kids in college now, this rivalry does not have the same juice for them as it used to. Like those Patterson Bryles years, when we were in the final years of the Mountain West and coming into the Big 12, and oh my God, the hatred in that rivalry was something else. And then TCU has just gone on such a tear where you have some Baylor kids before last year that had never even seen Baylor beat TCU, right? It needed that. It needed that extra juice. And I'm excited. I'm very excited for the Revivalry this year. Major implications for Arlington if TCU hasn't already stumbled, crapped itself and fallen down a cliff by this point. Which could happen. Who knows? But this is a big one. That's a big one for me. And yeah, the Holy War is always a treat.
I
without a doubt.
really, really, really hope that the Holy War is the 9:30 time slot. I know it's gonna suck,
Yeah.
but I want it to be the 9:30 time slot. I want Baylor TCU at the 11, and I want the Arizona State Tech at 2:30. So that way I can just go boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Good football, good football, good football.
What a beautiful thing that would be. Moving on to another rivalry in week 9. I'm watching that Sunflower Showdown, man. What we were talking about it with Austin.
Is it the year?
One of these years. One of these years is going to be the one that Kansas does it. Is it this one? They're in the new Raptor enclosure. They got Kansas State coming to town, coming to Lawrence. Is this the year? I don't know. There's other good games. You got the Xerox Bowl here. You got Oklahoma State, Texas Tech.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. There are no good games except for the Sunflower Showdown.
It's the best.
All the other ones, Baylor should be able to handle Cincinnati. TCU should be able to handle Rich Rod.
It's Texas always Tech, messy when we go to Morgantown, though. It's always messy.
It's messy with everybody who goes to Morgantown.
Yeah.
I think Tech should be able to handle Okie State. BYU versus Iowa State, that's going to be an interesting one. But again, it's Iowa State's defense is going to be great this year. BYU's defense is going to be great this year. This might be actually worse than El Assico. This might be El Assico 2.0.
Yeah.
So, when I look at that schedule, I'm like, yeah, the only one I care about is Kansas K-State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And can they do it? Can they break through? Can
they finally pull it off? Please do, because it makes me extremely happy every time the Purple Kitties lose.
Yes. Okay. We love you, John Grove. Okay, so week 10. Okay, this may be a little bit of a controversial opinion because, yes, you have Tech and Kansas State. Very big potential Arlington implications on the line. You have Arizona State, Iowa State. You got a rematch of the Big 12 championship. I mean, most people are going to say, hey, no question about it. This is the game that you have to watch, Arizona State, Iowa State. For me personally, I know Dana Holgerson's not there anymore, but West Virginia, Houston is still very intriguing to me. All right. Both of these teams are potential offensive powerhouses. Okay. You may have another crazy, high scoring, last person who holds the football wins type of game. And that's going to be very fun to watch. That's why, for me, yes, Arizona State, Iowa State, Kansas State, Texas Tech. Yes. But I'm excited about Houston, West Virginia. Tell me why I'm wrong, Brownie.
You're clearly wrong, because the best game to watch is Iowa State versus Arizona State. Not many people know this. Matt Campbell holds grudges like no other. I mean, I have heard stories, and I have heard it from his own mouth, when something goes against him or somebody goes against him, that he would love to dance on their mother's grave. I personally think that Matt Campbell is going to come into this game hot and loaded. And this might be the game where he just lets Taylor Mouser, our offensive coordinator, do whatever the hell he wants. He literally might be like, okay, Mouse, we got blown out of the water last season. Fuck it. Open up the playbook. Do what you want. And that game, we might see also have an extremely high scoring game.
Yeah.
Or it could be whoever gets to 35 first wins.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think that this is going to be like a 6-10 or a 10-13 game with nothing but field goals. Like, it's going to be heated. And I think a lot of the Iowa State players, with like some of their interviews and their demeanor, they really didn't want to talk about that Arizona State game. They felt like it was just a bad game for them. And I think that this is one that is definitely circled on the calendar as we're gonna come out and show out and shut you all up because that was not us in Arlington. But if I had to not pick Iowa State, I would probably watch the Tech K-State game because that one's going to be the big implicator, I think, for again the championship game.
Sure. I mean, like I said, both of those are the obvious ones.
Yeah. Very obvious ones.
Yeah. But I do think West Virginia Houston could be sneaky entertaining. Week 11, we've got TCU Iowa State that week. I do think that
that's the game to watch because we're watching it.
Yeah, we're going to be watching it. We're going to be in the building. We do have the space game that Houston
space game on Friday. That's great.
But yeah, so TCU Iowa State, past years in Fort Worth, this isn't usually a very entertaining game. Usually it's only an entertaining game in Ames, but I fully expect this one to be a barn burner. I'm very excited for it. But I mean, hey, man, we got the John Denver Bowl also happening that day. And for no other reason, just for the silliness of all of it, I'm very much looking forward to Colorado, West Virginia. It may not turn out to be remotely entertaining, but I like the idea of it. I'm excited. That's my game of the week for that reason alone.
In the ideal world, we can have the West Virginia game at 11. We can have the Texas Tech game at 2:30. We can have the TCU Iowa State game at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Arizona Kansas game at 9:30 or 10.
Full day
ideally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. But again, we'll be big chilling in good old Fort Worth,
mm-hmm.
having a blast. So
Cowtown, baby.
Cowtown.
Right. Yeah. So week 11 at the beginning of the summer, I would have told you TCU BYU. That's gonna be a crazy game. I do think it's not a cakewalk for TCU going to Provo and playing that defense. And, it's the Mountain West rematches are just fun for me personally. Tech UCF.
There's no good game this week.
Yeah. So the one I went with on my list is Utah
Baylor, Utah.
Yeah. The last time these two played, it was pretty intriguing. And, Utah could be in the conference title hunt. They may not. Of the games that are listed, this to me appears to be the only one that could potentially have conference title implications. So that's why I said Baylor and Utah.
Man, I'm looking at this and there's just not a lot. Mm-hmm. I hate picking Rick Rod like every single week, but
yeah,
the Pat White inventor, like, come on, man, like.
It is intriguing after all of the drama of Arizona State scoffing at the existence of West Virginia as a state.
Yeah.
And we would never go to West Virginia. It is kind of fun to see West Virginia go to Arizona State, and who knows what would happen next.
One mountain to the next mountain.
Yeah, we've got literally the furthest possible teams away from each other. So that is interesting. Is West Virginia going to be awake to play this game? I don't know.
If they play at 10 o'clock,
it's gonna. Oh my God! Can you even imagine?
It's midnight.
It's later than mid. Well, wait. Will Arizona be on California?
Would they be on California time or not?
I don't know. They might be.
If they are, that's 1 a.m.
Yeah, that game could start at 1 a.m. West Virginia
Oh
time.
God. Oh my God.
Poor West Virginia fans, like Coos and Paul, like gonna be like drinking a Red Bull at midnight.
Hey, man. You can't be drunk all day unless you start early. You might as well just start at midnight and drink all day and watch NFL on Sunday.
Dude, if I did that and a game started at midnight, I would be asleep. There would be nothing to wake me from my slumber. There's no way.
I think that happened to Iowa State. It was the Iowa State UNLV game, I think, a few years back, where kickoff was like 11:30 our time. And I was like, this is the most miserable freaking thing ever.
Absolutely.
Why did I stay up for this? Because we are giving them a proper ass whooping.
Brother.
And then like by the third quarter, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to bed. Like I'll watch the notifications come up on my phone or whatever. And then like I woke up and I was like, Twitter was having a hysteria. I was like, oh my God, did somebody get injured and I missed it?
Man, like, listen, I'm a night owl. I stay up late, but I am not 23 anymore. I am not built for a football game that starts at midnight.
My back hurts
Yeah,
after like 1 a.m.
no, man. No, that's not for me.
Like
Um,
sometimes I'll literally be sitting in like my computer chair here, and like I will literally just fall asleep in my chair. And then like I'll wake up and be like, "What time is it?" And I'll look down and I'll be like, "Oh, I should probably go to bed now."
old man vibes. Old man vibes.
Literally old man vibes.
All right, week 13. We're in the home stretch here.
Stretch.
I think that there's something intriguing about UCF Oklahoma State. I'll say that. I'm trying to remember if that was the game that a couple years ago that Oklahoma State just got demolished in Orlando by UCF. So that could be interesting. I think it's Kansas State, Utah this week. Kansas, Iowa State. There's some interesting implications. TCU needs to crush Houston after last year, but I think Kansas State, Utah is the only one that potentially could have weight to it beyond just the fan base.
I need a revenge tour of Iowa State, Kansas. I mean,
Yeah.
we made Jeff Grimes look like an offensive coordinator genius.
Yeah, that takes some doing, man.
Just how? Like this is now twice in a row that we have let Kansas do like whatever the hell that they want, and I'm trying to like refocus. There we go. And like I'm sick of it. I just want to bury them.
Yeah, you should. You should. Personally, I'm glad we're not playing Kansas. Every time we play Kansas that we've been in the Big 12, it's been harder than it should be.
It ends badly for me.
Yeah. Okay, and shockingly, there's in what is rivalry week for everyone else. Okay, there's only one true rivalry in the Big 12. That's the one that
Arizona,
it's on a freaking Friday. Yeah, the Territorial Cup. I mean, Arizona State should be head and shoulders above Arizona this season. But hate is hate. Rivalries are rivalries. That's the one. If I had to pick one game from this week, that's the one I'm watching.
Can we complain about the 11 a.m. kickoff too? Like I know it's Black Friday, but like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know what that's.
What are we doing here, people? Like, are we really trying to compete against Nebraska, Iowa?
Yeah.
Like, is that the standard that we're trying to compete against? Because if that's the case, like, we already lost.
Yeah. We've got some games that are kind of rivalry adjacent. I mean, like Kansas State, Colorado is it's kind of a rivalry. Baylor, Houston is kind of a rivalry.
Big
Southwest
8
Conference. Yeah, Big 8, and you got a Conference USA thing here with TCU, Cincinnati.
I personally think Big 12 has done us a giant disfavor by not having rivalry week be actual rivalry week.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like,
I don't either.
If
I understand because we got Farmageddon in Ireland, but then at the same token, like, give us the couch burning.
Yeah.
The Cycloneers.
Yeah, give it. Yeah, the Riot Bowl, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I know they're like, hey, we don't want to compete with all these other games. What is with this whole attitude in sports? Sports used to be about competing, right?
Cutthroat.
We used to not give out participation trophies. Okay, why? It's like freaking Lincoln Riley being like, "Oh, I don't know, we better not play Notre Dame anymore because what if we lose?" So win the game, right?
Beat them, my guy.
Win. It's a rivalry game. That's what you do. It's like this whole nonsense of all these TCU people who are like, "Oh, we can't play SMU anymore because if we lose, it ruins our season." So freaking win, man. That's the whole point. Win the game.
Iowa State has been taking a proper ass whooping against Iowa for a very long time because we sucked.
Yeah, and you weren't going to cancel the game, right?
Iowa almost tried to twice, but that's Iowa.
But still,
they're uneducated.
I mean, come on.
Outside of their lawyers and doctors.
It's football, man. You play to win the game. Okay?
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's 100% true. And that's all I've got. Okay, so there you go. That is your list of can't miss, must-watch games across the whole Big 12 spectrum in 2025. Boy, howdy, a lot of good football. I cannot wait to get it started. Wait. next week, here we go. Before we, remind you where you can find us. Next week, me and Brownie are going to do something very fun and interesting. We're going to be talking best and worst position groups for all 16 Big 12 teams. Could get spicy, could get interesting, and we'll see if we bring someone else. But we're gonna have a good time. So be sure you tune in next week. Brownie, remind the people where they can find you.
You can find me at WRNL Brownie on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can also follow us at widerightnattylight.com. We also have a Discord page that is starting to really kick off.
Love
because
that.
it's football season.
Yeah. It is. And that's why you have to subscribe, okay? At Big 12 VOCFB. There it is running across the bottom of the screen. Follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55 and follow my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Creations. There they are right there. And make sure you're finding the Voice of College Football wherever you get your podcasts. Until next week, I love you. I hope your team wins. Go Big 12. We're going to close the thing out with the message from Mark, and I'll see you next time.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.